CEO of Undefeatable University, a self-development, self-discovery, and trauma recovery online training community at KalilaJohnson.com. And I am also a generational impact leader and legacy strategist. And I am your undefeated life coach. And so I'm here with today's message. And today's message is disconnect to connect. Priorities and pursuit. And so I got this word again. I usually get my words lately from my dreams. And so there was a 3-part dream that I had last night where God was showing me. It was very, very bit disturbing. One part of the dream was a mother whose child, it was a family there who played a lot of tricks on each other. And the child was telling her mother that she had a child that did not survive. So she drew her a picture of what the baby looked like. And the mother was holding the baby as which was the grandmother was holding the baby and grieving over a baby that never even existed. She was lying to her and she called it joking. What he showed me about that part of the dream was that many of us are pursuing passion in a dream. If you ever look in interpretations, baby usually doesn't always represent a real baby. It can represent a purpose, what you're carrying in your belly, what you're birthing on the earth, what God has ordained for you to carry. And so what happens is that people are grieving over, and as her grandchild, it would have been her inheritance, grieving over things that was never meant to manifest, that aren't even real. It's the very equivalent to someone pursuing something that God has never intended for to be their purpose. And so what that does is that what happens is that the enemy will have you chase after something based off of your experiences, based off of what you see, based off of coveting, based off of heart conditions, and have you chase something that was never going to birth anything and never manifest anything purposeful. But instead you'll start grieving and thinking that you're behind, you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you should have done this better. And God says that with my purpose that I've created you to be, whatever I've ordained for you to be, you can always get back on track when you come to me and ask me what my design for you, what my desire for you is. The second part of the dream was, it was a one-night stand, a woman with a one-night stand who was made to go through the hallways of this man's apartment with his shoe on, his clothes on that didn't cover her right, his shoes didn't fit her. So basically the remnants and the residue of his clothing, so everybody knew that she had been with him. She was naked, it didn't cover her behind, and she was had to walk through him, this apartment, well, this place where all these people were gathered and where he's nodding like I had her. And then she has to go through the streets at night and walk with his clothes on, showing that she had been with a man that he basically discarded her as nothing and gave her his leftover clothing while she was naked. This is the equivalent of what God says is when the enemy gets in and starts to use God's people, and then he gets this pride and he says, look, I had her, she's supposed to be a Christian, but I had her. When he gets us in these divisive type arguments, when he gets us into slander and disobedience, when he gets us to start to compare and covet each other, this is what it looks like. It looks like this man who is had and discarded and been able to be wasteful, and then you carry the residue of the enemy. The third part of the dream was, I was standing on the side of the road, and there was this long stretch of road where you literally could see, well, that's what was said in the dream, that you could see people who are wealthy, you could see every part of life, what other people living their life and living their dreams. And I'm standing there, and a woman pulls up and she's like, I haven't gotten my nails done so I could save money. And then I was like, well, I haven't had a cup of coffee, I'm pinching. And so what it represents is standing there watching everyone else and you trying to do something because you're so focused on them that you're trying to do your part, and actually you're not doing anything. You're actually seeing the road, everyone's moving past you, but you're standing there trying to do something and making, pinching pennies, trying to do things in your own power. When God gives you a purpose, he actually gives you the provision to go about doing it. And so when we start to build our purpose based off of other people's design or other people's life, we start to focus on the things that are externally instead of dealing with the things internally. Now, the other part of this dream is what God is saying. He said, this is the scripture that it's coming from. He says that in 2 Chronicles 7:14, it says, if my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Get your house in order. Many of us are seeing a lot of things happening around and we are devastated. We want to do something as a church. We know that it is our responsibility to do so, but But God says, this is the thing about just. I am a just God. And if I come and deal with the murderous people in your land, I'll have to deal with you too. Because I am not a judge that a just God that winks at your murderous slander and versus this person who's killing people. I am a just God that will come and deal with all sin. And I see, and he talks about, he sees slander and gossip as murder because you're murdering someone's opportunity. You're murdering someone's character. And therefore, I see that as a murderer. And so a lot of times, and he's saying, I can't even come in without dealing with you as well. Some of the things that you're praying about for me to deal with the giants in the land, I would have to hit your house first. He says, get your house in order, humble yourself. And instead of you focus on the battle at hand, focus on the battle internally so that I can show you what's still operating in you that is keeping you from getting the victory that you need in order to go into the places that I've called you to go into. I need you to get your house in order. I need you to humble yourself and ask me to show you the things that are mysteries, the things that you cannot see. Ask me to show you and reveal to you your heart. Ask me so that you will learn how to pray and what I'm asking you to pray right now. Everybody wants to feel busy. We feel like we got to do something, but God is saying, wax on, wax off. Do the very thing that is in front of you. I know it doesn't seem glamorous. I know that it doesn't seem like you're doing anything, but if you focus on the instructions at hand, you will be ready for the giant that is defeating, that is in the land, that is trying to come against God's people. He says, I need you to start to eradicate the very internal wars that are going on inside of you so that you can deal with your family wars, so you can deal with these bloodline gatekeepers, so then I can send you into the land because you know how to fight. David was crowned king. He was oiled and anointed to be king, but he still had to go back and cover them sheep and go through his process. Because a seed must go into the ground, into a dark space, in order that it has to be culminated and germinated and then break out of its shell in order to break through the ground and start to take form and take root from the place that God has called you to be. You've got to finish this process. We want to do something. We want to stay busy. We want to just go out and we're staying busy and we're fighting, like Paul said, boxing against the wind. Nothing is again accomplished because you never asked me. You're not asking me for your purpose, which I designed for you. You're trying to play third base, and I'm calling you to stand as the catcher. But because you feel like that's your heart desire, you didn't consult me. You're pursuing a purpose that was never designed for you, so I need you to stand down. Get your house in order. Humble yourself so that I can heal your land. And then you can overtake the giants. So I wanted to give you that word. I think that's a fiery word. I think that's definitely an on-time word. That is the word of the Lord, and he's given me this in dreams. And disconnect from your self-awareness of lack and connect with God, where all real desires are made manifest. Let him show you what he placed you here for. Let him show you your purpose. Go to the one who created you for the instructions. So until tomorrow, I'll be here this time tomorrow. I've been having some problems uploading, so you've been seeing my videos uploaded at different times because some reason, I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or whatever it is, but I'm having issues uploading it. I pray that you receive this word. I pray that you listen to this word. I pray that this word blesses you. If you want to get the full word and the full version of the word, you can follow me on Facebook at Kalila D. Johnson, or you can go to my YouTube page, Kalila Johnson, and find me there in order to get all of both versions of every message. And so until this time tomorrow, around this time, I'm Kalila Johnson, your undefeated life coach at KalilaJohnson.com. Get on my subscribers list. I've been sending a lot of emails out because I'm still building something, but in fact, you still can go to my shop and there are free downloads. There are inexpensive classes and things of that nature, and I am building out something very special, so please stay connected. I want us to stay connected. God bless you, and again, until next time, I'm here reminding you that transformation is intentional, change requires commitment, and you are your greatest investment. In order to be impactful in the world, you must begin within. God bless you.